Welcome back in, everyone. March Madness is officially underway. Pretty soon, baseball season will begin.
So we decided to bring in a former college basketball player and current sports broadcaster with the Chicago Sports Network to get his perspective on all of the excitement. But perhaps more importantly, the fact that we have the Chicago Sports Network on 16.2.
Yes, love to hear that. Thank you guys for welcoming me in. So it's going to be a great conversation. So I'm looking forward to talk all things Chicago Sports Network and a little NCAA.
I dropped short of doing the full introduction. This is Cameron Smith. He was in the backcourt for the Salukis when they were ranked in the top. You were ranked 11th at one point. Yeah,
12th. I had a 4th overall seed when it comes to the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, fell short of our Final Four goal when we lost to #1 Kansas by 3 in San Jose. But
tough
we were there. We were right there.
Tough draw when you get Kansas.
Definitely true.
So let's talk a little bit about all the stuff that we can now see for free on 16.2 on the Chicago Sports Network.
Yeah, it's a great blessing to be able to have me in the studio and also to be here to talk Chicago Sports Network. But we are the home for the Chicago Bulls, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Chicago White Sox. So being able to be available on 16.2 and making sure that all of our community, because we stretch out to, of course, NDU and Northwest Indiana and so many different parts of the area where we make sure that everyone can see what we're doing from not even just the game coverage, but also the shows that we have, the shows that I'm on with the Chicago Lead. We have our big college football show, our big pro football show, and a lot of content that we do digitally just to give people more insight into who we are with the Chicago Sports Network.
That's great. You just launched a few months ago. Talk to us about how this journey has been.
It's been an exciting journey for sure, launching an entire network and making sure that we establish ourselves a little more in the city of Chicago. But it's been fun. I think everybody that's been on our team has done a tremendous job of doing multiple duties and responsibilities and handling them so we can be at the same goal of making sure that the content is great, and of course the coverage is great for everybody that's a viewing person.
Now the landscape is changing a little bit. I mean, there was a time in the very recent past when everything was on cable in terms of being able to watch, but this is free. I mean, how significant is that? That's cool.
It's major because it's easily accessible for so many people. And that's the great thing about our network is that people can access our content, our coverage of games. So if you're a Bulls fan out there, if you're a Blackhawks fan out there, if you're a White Sox fan out there, you can access our network, our coverage, and those games pre and post as well, along with the game coverage, by just getting that antenna and making sure that you're watching.
Game tonight, Cam?
Yes, the Chicago Bulls are playing against the Phoenix Suns. So this is a Bulls team that's won 5 of their last 6. They're facing off against the Phoenix Suns. The Bulls have improved themselves from a 10th seed, which is the play-in, to a 9 seed. So they've been playing great basketball lately.
And they've made some changes recently. I mean, we got rid of some guys that that I liked, but but they're looking good.
Yeah, they are. They really are playing great basketball, and the chemistry has worked out well for them with those new guys.
Your team here made an earlier stop before you came to the TV station today.
Yes, we stopped by the Boys and Girls Club and was able to have a great time with so many employees there, teachers, and you see the footage of
so great.
Being around the kids. I had to stop myself because I wanted to get in the dodgeball game to help and catch some dodgeballs just to help some of the teams out there. But being able to spend time and speak to part of our community, and we view South Bend a part of our community to make sure that we are there to, one, give back by giving our time to speak to them, but also giving back in the form of sports equipment because we know that they were in need of that, and just providing some motivation and some inspiration with our time there, with the equipment, but then also words of wisdom. So it was a fun time.
We actually had the Youth of the Year for the Northern Indiana Quarter on the show today, and he talked about how much this program means to him. I mean, that's amazing that you were able to get a glimpse of, how that is impacting our community.
And also for me, it was like a time machine because in Chicago, I was a part of the Boys and Girls Club in the city of Chicago. So for me, it was like, all right, stepping back into familiar territory of understanding, all right, you have an outlet, a safe haven to not only play sports, but to get your homework done, your schoolwork done. So when you get back home and mom and dad don't have to worry about having you do your homework, it's all been taken care of because you're at the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, I need a little bit of help here, Cam.
All right, I got you. What you need?
I can still make changes to my bracket for a few more hours.
You can.
So is there a sleeper team? Is there somebody are there some upsets that I should be looking for? Right now I've got Houston winning it all, even though I think Florida is the best team.
You know what? Houston is not a bad pick, and Florida is a great pick as well. But I'm going to actually throw a couple of teams out to you that you really should focus on. Michigan State, we know that Tom Izzo is the king of March. So how does it go? January, February, Izzo in March, right? He's been that great. But then also St. John's and Rick Pitino. The resurgence of that program. So those are the 2 teams you should really focus on. Maybe create create that 8th, 9th, or 10th bracket and pick either Michigan State or St. John's there.
Bettino and I have the degenerate railbird thing in common. We both play the horses. So.
Thank you so much for being here, Cam. We appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you guys welcoming me in.